How's it going, everybody? Combo here. Today we got 5 quick tips with the dual blades, and let me just say, I know yesterday I said the spear was kind of bad. These aren't quite on that level, but man, I gotta say, 2 misses and a hit, this weapon for seasons kind of blow. I think if they could make this just a little bit more consistent, maybe be a little bit better, but at the end of the day, I'm not here to give a weapon review, I'm here to show you how to make it work. So, without any further ado, if I missed anything, let me know in the comment section down below. Not gonna waste your time, let's get right into it. Starting things out at number 1, we have, well, a pretty important thing when you're using a weapon that deflects things. What can you actually deflect? And I'm gonna have a little list up here, but I'm also gonna say it verbally, you know, just to keep things simple. So the first thing, obviously, you can block are any kind of projectile that is not an explosive. This does not include barrels, unfortunately, because barrels kind of explode. You can block bows, you can block throwing knives, you can block any kind of regular fire. You can also block other melee attacks from people using like a sledgehammer, even the charge and slam, and even the quick melee. So keep those things in mind. You cannot block RPGs, as cool as that would be. Grenade launcher shots from both the heavy and the medium class cannot be blocked. Things like that, if they explode, you can't do it. If it's a bullet, chances are you can send it right back at them. Next up at number 2, we have a tip that actually helps every single melee weapon in the game, but with the dual blades, it's especially effective because when you swing from 2 different directions. As you can see right here, you're swinging, it's 1-2, 1-2. I guess it's not 2 different directions, it's the same direction, but you're swinging twice. So what I did, if you can look here in my settings, I have my horizontal sensitivity set to 500. And that is because when you have multiple targets nearby, one swing can actually hit the same target. So as you can see right here, I hit both those targets, 1-2. It's really important that you make your sensitivity high. This might be kind of weird with your equipment because you might throw it in random places, but generally speaking, you know, it's really important to be on target, and any kind of melee weapon, as you can see right here, it kind of locks you on target when you're swinging, so generally it's really tough to miss, and by having that high sensitivity, you can swap between targets. If a target's moving really fast, like a dash, like if he dashes, I can look right back and forth, and I can still hit him. Generally speaking, once again, with any melee weapon, this is good, but with the dual blades especially, because your attacks are broken up into 2, you want to be able to track your targets. Next up at number 3, we have a pretty good equipment synergy, that being with the zip line. Now I showed something very similar in my riot shield video, but of course you have 2 weapons that block things, it's gonna do something similar. So what you can do if you know a target doesn't have an explosive weapon like an RPG or something like that, you can put a zip line to a target. Now when you do this, obviously don't just like go right in their face and start swinging because you're gonna get beat up, but what you can do while you're on the zip line is hold the block. And by doing this, you reduce the amount of damage you take by a significant margin, and you can reflect some of that damage back at the person you're fighting. So I get on here, I hold my block, I get in his face, and I start doing damage. And before you know it, especially if they're shooting a weapon that does a lot of damage, if you reflect a ton of shots back at them, you're probably gonna win that gunfight. So just keep that in mind. The zipline pairs very good with the dual blades, and if you watched my tip yesterday, you can use this to gain some momentum. As you can see right here, I'm hopping, and I'm going really fast. Once again, synergy is there, take some time to practice it, and I promise you'll take some people out. Next up at number 4, we have the kill combos. Now of course, I do this with every single video, but when you're using a melee weapon, once again, it's really important to know what kind of kill combos are going to take out your targets in the shortest amount of time. With medium targets, it's going to be 2 swings, as you can see right there. Not really 2 swings, but 2 inputs. So if you press the attack button twice, you know, it swings twice like that. So 2 inputs will get the target weak enough to be killed with a 3rd swing, or you can do the cooler thing and the more effective, which is 2 swings and a quick melee, which is going to take the target out a little bit quicker. With light targets, you really only have 2 options, so same thing here. You can go 1-2. You can try to go for the quick melee if you know the target's hurt. That is always an option, but generally your safer bet's just going to be 2 swings like so. For heavies, things get kind of messy. Generally, my rule of thumb, if you're fighting a heavy, assuming they don't have a melee weapon or something explosive, try to block some shots first, because you're going to need to get your health divide more even. And what I mean by that, and I'll show this off very quickly over here, when you are blocking shots with the dual blades, you are still going to take damage, but it's going to be very reduced. So right here, I block shots. As you can see in the bottom left, I'm only taking a little bit of damage, but he is taking much more. This is really important for heavy targets, as you can see on that medium one, because by lowering the amount of health that they have, I can essentially take my time to kill and lower it, which I know sounds really stupid, but if I just go with this heavy target and start swinging, as you'll see, my regular combo isn't enough and it's going to take 4. However, if I just hurt this target a little bit, so as an example, if I hit him with like 1 melee and that's how much damage I reflected onto him, it's just going to take a full combo. And as you can see right here, that is a lot faster than getting in his face, taking more damage when you're trying to do the full combo and the extra swing, and it's going to keep you alive rather than dying because they have more health. And finally, at number 5, we have a bit of a, we'll call it a twofer. So I'm going to show you how to deal with melee targets, aka people using a melee weapon, and people using a ranged weapon. So when fighting somebody with a ranged weapon, as I said with heavy targets, it's really important that you reflect some damage back because the health gap can make things very difficult, especially if you have to rush up to the target. However, it's really important to know that the accuracy on the dual blades, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm 90% sure after playtesting, the accuracy in which you send bullets back to their target is about the equivalent as if that person was shooting from the hip. So if I reflect bullets from somebody who is shooting at me, understand that you are going to have the same accuracy as if you were firing that weapon from the hip. And what I mean by that, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, right? So I'll go in here, I'll pull out like a FAMAS, for example. My hip fire accuracy is right here. My aim down sights is right here. This is what they're shooting, this is what you're deflecting. So just understand from those longer ranges, you're not gonna have a ton of consistency. Now moving on to how to beat those melee targets. Generally speaking, when you are in a melee engagement, aka someone has dual blades or they have a knife, you don't just want to get in their face and start trading. You want to be smart about how you attack. Generally, you want to time your shots in between when they are on cooldown. So for example, heavy target uses a big slam, like their charged sledgehammer attack, you block it, and then you swing. The best way to ensure your block is up to block their attacks when they swing at you is while you're engaging with a melee target, always hold down the block. Right now I'm holding down block. If I go to attack, as you can see, it immediately puts my block back up. This is really important because especially let's say you do 3 swings like this, you know, there's a period of time when you don't know exactly when you can pull that block back out. So generally when you're fighting targets, just holding down the block button while you're fighting them is just a safe bet to ensure that 1, you kill that target, maybe their teammate starts shooting at you, you can send those shots back at them and reduce the damage taken. This may seem small, but I promise you it's super, super important. Anyways everyone, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below. I apologize if this video seemed kind of short or like the tips weren't like super mind-blowing, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not here to bullshit you guys. This is a very simple weapon. And generally with simple things come simple explanations, or Akram's razor. I just wanted to use that today because I like remembered what it was and I felt cool. But besides the point, once again, let me know if I missed anything in the comment section down below. I'm sure there's people who are absolute units with this weapon, but similar to the spear, I think this thing needs some changes to be viable. Specifically, I think maybe reflecting should have 100% accuracy, because I mean, like, I'm aiming at the dude, so why don't my bullets hit him? I don't know, just doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, guys, once again, let me know if I missed anything. Much love to everyone watching. Thank you so much for the support recently. It's been wonderful. And yeah, this has been Combo. Thank you for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and peace out, everybody. Later.